Welcome back to Clark's Ring Rants. Let's get straight into today's video. So, coming up this weekend, we've got a fight, and I feel like it's a fight that's flown under the radar, to be honest. It's not had that much publicity, and it's not really been promoted that well, I think it's fair to say. And that is Josh Kelly challenging Bakhram Murtazaliev for his IBF 154-pound world title. Now, this fight's an interesting one because we've got Josh Kelly. He's fighting for a world title for the first time. He's going up against this beast in Murtazaliev, who absolutely flattened Tim Tszyu last time out in a pretty one-sided affair. Stopped him in 4 rounds, had him down multiple times. The left hook was really, really effective in that fight, and he was just too much for Tim Tszyu on that night. Now, going into this fight, Murtazaliev has a record of 23-0. He's 5'11" tall, and he has a 74-inch reach. Josh Kelly goes into this fight 17-1-1. He's the younger fighter, to be fair. Murtazaliev is 33 to Josh Kelly's 31. Kelly's height is 5'10", and his reach is 72 inches. So he's the shorter man with the shorter reach going into this fight. Josh Kelly's career has been an interesting one and peculiar, I feel, to say the least, and also somewhat underwhelming. So he turned pro after going to the 2016 Olympics, and I remember when he turned over, he was highly touted and he was tipped for big things in boxing, but it's never really quite worked out, I think it'd be fair to say, for Josh Kelly. He was plodding along nicely. He was signed to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, which meant he featured on a lot of undercards, a lot of Anthony Joshua cards, amongst others. And I'd say things started to go wrong around the time he fought Ray Robinson. Now, he fought Ray Robinson in either his 10-4-11 fight, and this was on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 1 at Madison Square Garden. Now, this fight ended in a draw, and it sort of had people questioning, what is Kelly really made of? What sort of level is he at? Because he was meant to beat Ray Robinson that night, and he had a hard night's work, and he got away with a draw, but nonetheless, he was meant to win that fight, and he sort of came unstuck. Following on from his draw with Ray Robinson, later on in 2019, he beat a guy called Winston Campos over 10 rounds to improve his record. He then sat out for a year due to circumstances beyond his control, to be fair, and he then fought the dangerous but beatable, I think it's fair to say, David Avanesian in 2021, and this went horribly wrong for Josh Kelly. He was beaten up, dropped, cut, bloodied, and eventually stopped in the 6th round. And a lot of people said, well, this was always going to happen. You know, Josh Kelly's an accident waiting to happen, the hands down, the slick style. And he had this coming to him. Avanesian's a decent-ish fighter, probably European fringe world level at his best. But nonetheless, he beat Josh Kelly and it was back to the drawing board. Then we got all the usual stuff. Oh, you know, he's weight drained at 147, he needs to move up, and that'll solve all his problems. And then, so this fight was in February of 2021. Since then, Josh Kelly was in the wilderness, I think I'd say, for 3 or 4 years. He beat Troy Williamson. Now, that's aged well, that's a good win, considering what Troy Williamson has recently done to Callum Simpson up at super middleweight. But nonetheless, he was fighting in relative obscurity for a few years. He was fighting on Channel 5, on the Sauerland cards. He wasn't really getting a look in. I think his relationship broke down with Eddie Hearn. And then we saw him back on a major card when he outpointed Ishmael Davis in 2024. That one was on the Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois undercard. In this fight, Josh Kelly looked like he was going to box his way to a comfortable decision. But in the latter rounds, Ishmael Davis started to catch up to him, and it ended up being a really close fight. And you do wonder if Ishmael Davis would have started just a little bit quicker, could he have potentially won that fight? But nonetheless, Josh Kelly managed to get the win, and then he moved on to bigger and better things, or so it had seemed. The only fight he had in 2025, if you can even call it a fight, was a first round knockout of a guy called Flavius Beer, I think that's how you pronounce the guy's name. A Romanian guy, not a very good guy. He beat him easily, and that's his only preparation going into this fight with Murtazaliev. So, yeah, I'm not too sure how this one's going to go for Josh Kelly. He's going to be undersized. Murtazaliev's not, you'd have thought, going to be intimidated by anything Josh Kelly's going to be throwing at him. I, I, I don't see him winning this fight. I think it'd be a major upset if Josh Kelly was to win this fight. I think he's undersized. I think he's going to be outgunned. He's going to be outfought. Maybe he can mess him around, show him some angles, frustrate him, box on the back foot. But will it be enough? Is he going to be able to keep Murtazaliev off? Is he going to be able to stop him from walking forward, cutting the ring down, and slinging those big heavy shots in? I feel like the writing could be on the wall from very early once Murtazaliev sort of figures him out, cuts the ring off, and it could be a tough night for Josh Kelly. Don't get it twisted. I'm always going to back the Brit. I want him to win. It'd be great for us to have another world champion, but I think he's got his work cut out here. This is going to be a very difficult fight. Do I see a scenario where he can win? I mean, Murtazaliev is a bit flat-footed. He's kind of crude. Could Josh Kelly outbox him? Could he stay out of danger for 12 rounds? I'm not sure. Has he ever done that in his career? Is there anything to suggest he could do that? Listen, I'm going to go Murtazaliev. I think Murtazaliev will get to him, and I see it as 65-35 in his favour. So Josh Kelly, he could win, but I'd be surprised if he did. But Murtazaliev is coming off a layoff as well. He's not fought since he beat Tim Tszyu, and that was in October of 2024. So he's been very inactive as well. Could that ring rust affect him? I guess we'll see on the night, but I just think Murtazaliev is going to have too much for Josh Kelly. The inactivity of Josh Kelly, the stop-start nature of his career. I mean, he's finally got his world title shot, but I don't know. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get the victory in this one. Let me know what you think. Does Josh Kelly have a chance in this fight? Can he become a world champion finally? Or is Murtazaliev going to be too much? Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe if you're new. Peace out.